Event that we do have going on. This is actually from our Fox 2 San Francisco team. Nima Momeni, who is accused of killing the founder of Cash App, his arraignment has been postponed multiple times. It does appear that the arraignment is underway, or at least we're hearing from his attorney. Let's pop up the audio and listen in live, raw, and unfiltered.
But so the amount of materials that the police obtained pursuant to a search warrant of Millennium Towers, you all know Millennium Towers, right? So I had contacted the district attorney's office and said, how much video, how much stuff is subpoenaed? And not very much is subpoenaed, so I served a subpoena ducus tecum on Millennium Towers to preserve video from March 31st to, I think, I can't remember, like April 8th, something like that. And so because the police didn't ask for all that video.
Well, it sounds like you're asserting a self-defense argument in this case.
Say that again?
It sounds as if you're asserting a self-defense argument in this case.
My defense is it's a combination of an accident and self-defense. Absolutely.
It was an accident with 3 stab wounds?
Well, you know, have you ever... I'm going to say my defense is it is an accident with a cross between self-defense and accident. There was no premeditation, deliberation. Absolutely not.
So you said in court, and you said now this is not a whodunit.
It's a what happened.
Right. So are you conceding that they have arrested and charged the right person, just not with the right charges?
Well, but they always charge with the most serious charges. I'm saying that given the fact that after the interaction between Bob Lee and Nima Momeni, that their last words to each other, well, I'll save that for later, but he walked away completely fine. He walked at least a football field and over a football field. And the first time you would know by looking at Bob Lee, really from the surveillance video, that he was injured is after this white car, which is the Uber that I think he had called for, left him.
Well, there's a confusion though when you say it's not who done it, but what happened, because someone was stabbed 3 times. It makes it sound like you're alluding to the fact that your client did stab him, but you're just questioning.
It's complicated, and some of it. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to set a boundary. The boundary is that while I want to be helpful to the press, I'm not going to try this case in the court, or not going to try this in the press, and I've sort of said what I've said for today.
You also said in court that the DNA doesn't necessarily tell the story that the prosecutors are alleging that it does, because they say that your
That's true.
DNA was on the handle, Bob Lee's DNA was on the blade.
Well, that's not...
But that doesn't tell the full story, is what you said.
That's right, and it absolutely doesn't tell the full story. It's look, DNA stuff is so complicated that I didn't even launch into that. I don't even think that that's what the DNA says. I have a DNA expert telling me. I have to hire somebody. It's so complicated with the epithelials and the this and the that. It is super complicated. But that's not the way my expert, I don't even think that's what the report says. But for our purposes for today, that's what he said.
And then also on the issue of release, you'd also said that your client has deep ties to the community and that he's not a flight risk, and he's not a danger to the community, because that's what the prosecutors were arguing.
Well, right, but so the judge ruled properly that, you know, he's not a flight risk. That's what the judge said. In terms of the danger to the community, I mean, I don't know if any of you really care, but San Francisco is a unique county out of the 58 counties. San Francisco is the only county in the state of California that has eliminated cash bail. So it's a super interesting argument San Francisco doesn't have a bail schedule. The bail schedule in San Francisco before the lawsuit that eliminated cash bail on a murder was $1 million. Most of the Bay Area counties have a bail for a 187 charge at set by judicial officer or $1 million. Some of the 58 counties have a lower dollar amount. So, I mean, it's a complicated argument, and I'm not sure like which is right, because I generally believe in the notion that a person's liberty shouldn't be conditioned on their financial ability to pay a bondsman money. So the San Francisco system of basically detention or no detention is how they do this. If this were a different Bay Area county, the argument probably would have been, what amount of money are you going to set for bail? So it's a quirk of San Francisco.
What is the crocodile Dundee knife that your client keeps in his car, and are you suggesting that Bob Lee took the knife from Momeni's sister's?
I'm not suggesting anything, but if you read the pleadings, you know, it's pretty clear in the pleadings, but everybody knows my client carries a large knife in his car.
But by bringing that up today, what was the point you were trying to make? You said he would have, if you were going to murder somebody, he would have used that knife. Who do you believe took the knife from the kitchen?
I'm not going to say that.
Paula, do you find this a setback, the fact that, you know, your client will be detained during a pretrial?
I mean, having done this kind of work, just being real, it's much more difficult to represent somebody who's in custody. It takes more time. Every time I go over to the jail, I have to be processed in. It takes anywhere between an extra 15 minutes to a half hour. Plus, jails aren't that much fun to visit people in, straight up. The room is not comfortable. The chair isn't comfortable. It's certainly not as comfortable as my office. In terms of setbacks, really, it's all the will of the universe. It's all, I know this sounds so whatever, it's like a baseball player, oh, it's all God's will, but in some ways it is. I mean, it's all, the older I am, I think I'm the oldest person in this room. The longer I live, the more I know it's just random, it's serendipity. And I don't mean to say that in a way to diminish the tragedy of this, but it's like, it's just, I don't know, karma's a weird thing.
Paula, you also made an interesting point in court about the district attorney either misrepresenting or misinterpreting the data. Everything you said, from the depth of the stab wound, comparing that to the knife, do you think that the DA is misinterpreting the information or misrepresenting the information, or what's your take on that?
I will say I love Omid to lie. I think he's a really good person. I think that all of the DAs, or 99% of the DAs I've dealt with, try really hard. They're public servants. They do their very best to do their duty. They're lawyers. They're trying to help the people of the state of California. They're trying to do the right thing. You know, his job was to get Nima detained. He did his job. That's what his marching orders were. But that's just not right. There's no way that there is a wound 5 inches deep. That's just not, it's just not possible, okay? It was effective, and now we're talking about it, but that's just not accurate. The other thing is, I don't have all the discovery, but when there's a stab victim, they're supposed to do all these like directional things with like ropes and rods and this and that. Okay, the DA is going to talk. So,
Well, one last thing.
Did they interview Azar Momeni?
no,
You said they didn't interview lots of
no,
people.
no.
Did they interview just witness one, or?
Witness 1 and witness 2. I don't think, no, it's crazy.
Paula, on the Uber, do you think Bob Lee called for the Uber prior to being stabbed or after? And why did he mention that that white car was an Uber?
I'm not going to say that either. I know what I think, but I don't think it's appropriate for me to say. And so they've been super nice to let us use this room. So I think we should say thank you to them and let's go on. And the district attorney's going to come speak. So she's a much nicer person and a better show than me. So.
Before you wrap up, just to confirm dates, tomorrow you're back 9 a.m.?
Right, and so I asked the judge to waive his appearance tomorrow so it wouldn't bring all of you people to the courthouse. You can check with the DA's office or me.
You're just setting calendar, right?
All we're doing is setting a date. So I asked the judge the judge waived his appearance. It's just going to be me and Omid setting a date. It's super boring. Okay.
The June 2nd date?
Oh, it's about the subpoena, and I'll have it solved as well. It's nothing you need to worry about. It's all fine. Okay? Okay.
Thank you all. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, not sure if the prosecutor is going to speak as well. I did, of course, hear the attorney for the suspect, Nima Momeni, say the prosecution wanted to speak. So we're going to keep on this shot for just a second while we wait to see if that is going to happen. But again, Nima Momeni has been arraigned there, entering a not guilty plea. This arraignment has been pushed off several different times here, and we know, of course, that he is accused of killing Cash App founder Bob Lee, fatally stabbing him. You just heard some comments from Momeni's attorney there, kind of talking a little bit about the justification there, saying that this appeared to be a self-defense situation, but not going into too much detail. Let's head to a quick 2-minute commercial break here, and on the other side, we'll get back into your